Hola a todos. I'm Ernesto Altamirano with my beautiful and always awesome wife, Lindsay Altamirano.
Hello. And today we're going to show you how to make coffee at home in a Moka Pot, which is a very common method, not only for Italians, but also for
Cubanos, Cuban guys,
yeah.
Cuban people.
Cuban guys. And so, very apropos, we're going to use our Nona's roast, which is made for an espresso roast, which is medium dark. And Nona is Italian for grandmother, and our kids call my mother Nona.
Nona.
So it's named after all the grandmas.
All the hardworking grandmas that do a
yeah.
lot.
We should definitely clarify that.
Yeah, emphasize that.
Thank you.
Yes.
And because there's the Italian vibe, we're going to use, what brand do we use for our Moka Pot?
This is an Italian brand called Bialetti.
Yeah, he pronounces it.
Bialetti.
And sometimes you'll see these just all silver stainless steel, right? But we want to be more fancy, so we got the Italian flag version of the Bialetti.
And it looks freaking cool.
It looks really, really
Look
good in person.
Like,
I was
it's
amazed.
as Italian as it gets.
Yeah. So, all right, what else do we need for this?
So we obviously need the Moka Pot.
Mm-hmm.
We need our coffee.
Okay.
We need water.
Okay.
We need a scale.
Okay.
Now the water is not hot. In most of the methods that we've covered, we heat the water, let it go to a boil, right, and then we rest it. In this case, this is room temperature water.
Yeah.
Because the Moka Pot goes on the stove. So we'll show you that in a little bit.
And not just any room temperature, but filtered room temperature. Because as you guys know, if you've been following along, water is how much of the whole process of coffee?
98% of good coffee comes from good water.
I mean, I think that says it all right there. So we've got our reverse osmosis filtered room temperature water.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You said that very well.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh. Get a little treat for that. No. Okay, go ahead.
All right, here we go. That's for another video. Okay. All right. So let's start by unscrewing the top. Okay. Some people do it the other way. I like to unscrew the bottom. I'm going to set that aside. Okay. What we have here is we have a filter with sort of like a cone-shaped spigot that goes down into the reservoir down here. And then we have a safety valve. Okay, so once it goes to the desired temperature, it'll relieve its pressure through this little valve right here. Now there's also a line inside, right below the valve. So some people just put the coffee and then they pour the water up to the line, and that's usually how they do it. But in order to really taste great coffee, you want to always weigh your coffee and weigh your water. And that's what we're going to do in this video.
What ratio are you using for this?
We're using a 1:7.
Okay.
1:7 ratio.
That's pretty strong coffee.
It is very strong. This is as close as you're going to get to, as you said at the beginning of the video, an espresso drink.
Okay.
Very easy and just reliable, which is great. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our reservoir. We're going to put it on the scale.
And we use Coffeeator scales, but use whatever scale you prefer.
Yeah, this was very inexpensive.
Yeah.
It's just been really reliable, really good.
Yeah.
Big numbers, easy to read. So here we go. We're going to zero that out or tear it. Okay, and then so back to the ratio. Since it's a 1:7, here we have 30 grams of coffee and 210 grams of water. Okay, but for the purpose of the video, we're going to use the scale to show you that we really mean that. All right, so we're going to start pouring the water, and that should be 210 grams of water.
It's important to note that if you do use a different ratio, you just never want your water to go and cover that safety valve. It's got to stay below that safety valve, and Bialetti instructions will confirm that for you.
Yeah. Bialetti.
Bialetti. I'm the Italian one, but he's the very Spanish-speaking one, so we'll let him do it.
I'll take the credit this time. All right, the spoon. You guys will see what that's for. Now I'm gonna grab the filter. I'm actually gonna get this off the scale. I don't want to put pressure on the scale and mess that up. Okay, this has already been scaled out, so I have the 30 grams in here. Okay, and
And what kind of grind size did we use for this?
Oh yeah, very fine grind.
Okay.
Okay.
That is
Very
very fine.
Okay, yes, like I said, it's almost as an espresso grind. So just a little hair off of that.
Okay.
A little bit coarser than an espresso, but very fine, nevertheless. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in. What you want to do with the spoon, and you're gonna want to press it and pack it gently. You don't want to press too hard because it'll make the water like struggle going up through the grounds. Okay. Here we go. Let's finish that off. Now, when I went to Miami when I was a teenager, my Uncle Tony taught me a trick. So what you do is, as you guys saw me here, I pressed the bottom, and then he said, make sure you do a little mound like that. Just a little tiny after you have pressed it.
It's like sandcastles.
Yeah. Yep. Like a sandcastle. Okay.
That's Ernesto's way of saying, not really, Lauren, but sure.
Okay. For another video. Okay. All right. So then now this is pretty much ready to go for the stove. The only thing we need to do now is put the top on. Okay. Screw that bad boy in there like that. Make sure it's nice and tight like that. Okay. Now we're going to take it to our stove.
Because we're going to need a source of heat for these Moka Pots.
Exactly. So now I'm going to set this on the stove. We're going to bring it to about a medium flame.
What happens if I do more than medium heat?
It might over extract the coffee. Oops. There we go.
Well, that's not good. We don't want bitter coffee.
No, we don't want bitter coffee. Absolutely not. We're looking for good Dalia coffee.
That's right.
And, you want to leave the lid off, but for the purpose of the video, we're going to open it up so you guys can see the coffee that will come out of the top. All right. And then once we start to see the coffee brewing, I'll go ahead and close the lid and I'm going to kill the fire. This is going to take about 3 or 4 minutes to go through that process. Oh, maybe Jehovah Witness. Now here, we can see our coffee coming at the top of the Moka Pot. And that's exactly what it needs to do. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the fire now. Just let it do its thing.
It almost makes me think of those science experiments with the volcanoes. But tastes a whole lot better.
Look at that. It's just so awesome. I'm going to close the lid. Okay, take this to the table. All right, so I took our nice Moka Pot, our Bialetti Moka Pot. I like to say that word. From the stove. And it's pretty much ready to go. So we have our nice cups here, but some people, like Cubans, they use small little cups like this.
It's like an espresso shot?
Yeah, exactly. And then, it's a thing, like you start engaging with the person who's serving the coffee and you go, hey, I want it with sugar or no sugar, and it's a very cool thing.
It's like an experience.
It's an experience,
like
exactly.
Food and all that stuff is an experience, right?
Yeah.
Very cultural.
Exactly.
Well, let's taste this strong coffee.
Ooh, I poured myself first this time. Ooh.
That's okay. We'll forgive him.
Okay, just for this one.
Because he did such a nice job.
Nice.
With the Moka Pot.
Right on. Careful, it's hot.
Yeah, and it's definitely a darker roast, that's for sure.
Oh gosh, smells so good though.
It does. You definitely didn't overheat it, burn it, or
No.
anything. I mean, that has to do a little with the roast for sure.
Absolutely.
Right?
The beans, the
beans.
roast. I mean, so many different things, so
Yeah.
many different elements to make great coffee.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit hot.
Yeah, wait until they cool down a bit.
Okay.
But this is really good. This reminds me of my Miami trips.
Yeah?
Yeah, my trips to Miami. This is good stuff.
Well, while we let this cool down, if you liked what you saw, please like our video, subscribe to our page for more how-tos and more about our Dalia Coffee company. And if you have any coffee methods you would like to see us try out, please comment. We'd love to give it a shot. And if you would love to buy the coffee itself, please go to ladaliacoffee.com. Link in the page here below. And let us know if you have any questions about what we might recommend for your flavor profiles. All right, everyone. Thanks so much.
Thank you.